Okay, everyone, we are back with Sabeena Hickman, president of the PHTA, and getting an update from close to our nation's capital, from Virginia. Sabeena Hickman, what's your day looking like today?
Oh, well, we were up early with the Senate passing the stimulus package and it going over to the House. 883 pages that our lobbyist and our director of government affairs is translating, trying to get information out to the industry that's helpful and practical so that they can better understand how it's going to impact not only their business, but also communicate to their employees what it means to them.
Yeah, so I've been researching a lot of this and kind of watching a lot of the stimulus and the family medical leave stuff that came out a couple of days ago. And so what is your understanding of how this affects the industry? Because it felt like, in years past, most of these things were really geared towards kind of medium and larger companies, especially let's start with the family and medical leave stuff. They've kind of I never really had to pay attention to that previously because I've never been over 25 employees. But now that they're really kind of applying it to all small businesses, there's a lot of things to kind of understand and learn. So let's start there and then get into the stimulus. So what do you know about the family medical leave stuff?
Yeah. So and thank you so much, Randy, for putting up the new website. We did not realize that our coronavirus mini site was going to be such a depository of so much information. So we made it a little bit more intuitive so people can, better navigate it. What we posted on phase 2, which deals with FMLA, nothing has changed. Obviously, it enables you, if coronavirus is impacting you because you need to stay home because daycare is closed or stay home to care for a family member, there are benefits for the employees. And it's very specific. We've created a chart that tells you if you fall into a certain category, how much you get paid for that on this extended FMLA. We keep telling our members, and I will stress it again, keep detailed records because you're going to need that for the employers who need the tax credits or benefits, and also for the employees. So we still haven't seen how the process is going to work in terms of how you file for it. A lot of our employees are asking. So it's kind of a wait and see. But what they've said is we will provide you clear instructions in terms of how to process, how to track, and then how to apply for those business benefits.
Yeah, and the biggest thing that I want to kind of get out is just that fact that this is no longer medium and big businesses, that this actually applies to every business, even small businesses. There are some exemptions, it seems like, with, I think it's 10 and under. Right. I don't remember the exact number, but this is something that every business owner needs to pay attention to and at least research a little bit, find a family member or an attorney or somebody, because if you do have somebody that comes down with the virus, there are pretty specific things that you need to at least understand and be able to have a paper trail about it. And so that's something new with this that small business has not had to deal with in the past.
Yeah, and they're even talking about if there's exposure, you may not have it, but someone that you were with maybe have been exposed to it. So I think they're really stressing not only the safety and containing the virus, but they also want to find a way, through this stimulus package to stimulate the economy and allow businesses to keep their doors open and not have to lay off and retrain and rehire because employees are caring for family members or they need to be home because of daycare. So there was a lot of thought that went into this, obviously.
So let's transition over because the stimulus package just passed, I think, yesterday. I actually haven't even done much of my research on it, but how do you see that impacting the businesses within the pool space? and I'm more concerned with, small shops like me, 15 employees and down, kind of the bread and butter of the pool industry. Places like Pool Corp, some of these larger corporations, they have HR staff and they have people that can interpret this all for them. But, for the smaller firms that are kind of the backbone of the industry, should we be paying attention to the stimulus package?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, the whole overarching is they want to keep businesses. They want to be able to keep their doors open. There are some things that apply to everybody. One thing that changed is there's going to be 4 months of unemployment insurance versus 3 months. There's going to be a lot of 0% loans that small businesses can apply for with the SBA, the Small Business Administration. That is going to be highly, highly competitive. And so what we're working on now is crafting draft letters that you can get out to your elected officials to help with these small business loans. That will be updated on our website in the next day or so. They're also doing payments for individuals. If individuals make $75,000 or less per year, they get a one-time payment of $1,200 plus $500 for each kid. In the event that you have hourly employees and they have to work remotely and they're not able to get their 40 hours, this is also something that will, give them peace of mind for that. Payroll taxes are going to be extended into 2021 and 22, so you can kind of elongate those payments. What our lobbyist has told us is, again, keep detailed records. Anything that's a unique economic impact for the company, workforce, sick leave, contracting issues, even supply chain disruptions, keep a record of that because they want to be able to help with any kind of disruption or, negative impact to a business.
Yeah, and I know for myself, we don't utilize it. We utilize it a little bit, but through our general liability provider, they have a whole HR program that we have access to. So it's not like you have to go out and hire all these attorneys and that. You're likely to, as a small business owner, to have some of these things available to you. And so we just encourage everybody to start looking at your paperwork and start calling your agents and the places where you're already engaged. And really start to look into this because, we hope we come out of this real quickly, but, wisdom and prudence would dictate that you should at least start exploring this so that if this becomes a little bit more of an elongated thing, that, what tools and what things are available for you.
Yeah. And I love it. Wisdom, prudence, persistence as well. Talk to your insurance agents. I know I talked to a member yesterday, and he had said he has disruption insurance, but what his insurance agent said is they may not honor this because it's not a natural, disaster. It's not a tornado. And he said, wait a minute, it's disruption. So he talked to the insurance agent, put something in writing, send it back, keep it in your file. Because he said, we need to stay on top of this. And again, PHTA, we get calls every day. Hey, can you help draft this letter? Or, Dom had said, as I mentioned in the last podcast, have something in your truck that says that you're, transiting from from your home to the office. We want to give you all the tools that you need to be able to continue to keep your operation open.
Sabeena, I wanted to talk to you about this website that you've got up. You gave it a unique URL. It looks like it's PHTA at Corona Update. So most of the resources are going to that unique URL?
Correct. All the resources are going to that. We also launched a Facebook group. I think we have about 200 folks. We want to connect the industry and the community and really have them share. There's been a lot of positive things like keep your head up. We're all in this together. We're also doing, and we'd love to share it with you guys, lessons from leaders. We've reached out to our board members, our committee members, our council members, saying, what have you learned from this? And we're going to start a social media campaign. There's so much to learn from one another. And use the community within PHTA to share those stories.
Yeah, that is great, and that's sort of the tack that we've been taking as well. You know, as we've been through the week here, we're kind of more and more information, but we're morphing out into now it's not you know what's going on, you know which state is closing, which is open. Now we're really kind of transitioning that ourselves here, and that's sort of our vision too, is to start giving everybody the tools. You know, we've had all of our podcasts recently have been very specific with coronavirus updates and information, and we're also looking at starting to do some teaching on from some hiring experts, and we've got one of the largest pool companies in the country is going to talk about how they weathered the last storm and how they navigated through the crisis in '08. So we're really trying to do the same thing, is get as many people in front of you and allowing everybody to get as much information as we can as we're moving into these uncertain times.
Yeah, and it's like we all say, we're going to be stronger together. The more we can share and learn from one another, the better off we're going to be when we get to the other side.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the update today. Tell us a little bit. What does your day look like? What does a typical day for you? I can't imagine you're getting your normal beauty sleep every night.
Yeah. You can tell. I'll tell you. It's the other day I was talking to our team, and we're like, it's kind of slowed down a little bit, and within like 30 minutes, it's blown up. Every state is unique. We're facing some issues in Pennsylvania. We had a member in Michigan who was pulled over even though they were deemed essential. So we're some of them are one-on-one where we're helping. We're equipping them with the tools that they need. This morning I was on and off of a J1 coalition call, maybe something that's not top of mind, but they want to know how this stimulus package impacts them. They obviously looked for J1 visas to bring some of the Europeans in to serve as lifeguards over the summer. And they're seasonal, so they're over 500. So is this going to affect them? And how can they want to talk about opening the pools, but it's really preparing the pools to open. They're interfacing with pool community HOA. So we can give you guys some more information on that on a different podcast, but there's a lot to be considered with the J1s.
She is Sabeena Hickman. She is president of the Pool and Hot Tub Alliance. That is a lot of information right there, Sabeena, and we are looking forward to some updates, maybe as soon as even hopefully later today or tomorrow on some of the J1 visas. I think we'll bring some people on with you. Would love to have it. We really appreciate what PHTA is doing for the industry, and we look forward to coming out of this all together stronger as a group. So thanks for your leadership. We appreciate it over here. Dave, we're out of here. Everybody say goodbye. We will be back with Sabeena Hickman as quickly as we can. Thank you, guys.
That's good, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.